Hey guys, my name is Miska and welcome to Overwatch Central. There's a lot to go through and there's a big patch that I'm going to be covering in this video, but just before that, we just got word that the next hero, I think at least Hero 31, seems to have been leaked. So there were some temporary screenshots, some temp art put out to some people regarding role queue and some other things, showing off, for example, the career profile in the top right. But in that same screenshot, the Overwatch World Cup account from Mexico accidentally seemed to have tweeted out the full thing. You can see that the top hero played for that account is a character called Sigma with 9 minutes played. And it seems like someone at the Overwatch World Cup Mexico team slipped up and didn't notice that they had been given this, which I guess Blizzard maybe didn't even notice either. That unfortunately leaked, I guess you could say. Blizzard are probably very sad, but either way, let's get going with the rest of the video. Hey guys, my name is Miska and welcome to Overwatch Central. We are on the PTR right now. We're going to be taking a look at role queue. We're going to try to do some other things too, but bear with me because there are updates kind of coming in right now and patch notes and such. So I'm going to try my best at going through everything, but it's going to be a little bit of a messy, different video. First off, role queue. It's here, role lock, whatever you want to call it, it's on the PTR. In our case, a big part of it has to do with the matchmaking, of course. And there's a few things that are really key to this that we didn't really think about before or talk about too much, but that are, you know, obviously a little bit, I guess, surprising, you could say. And that's this little label right here, Earn Loot Box. So if you don't know, role lock is a 2-2-2 setup, 2 tanks, 2 damage, 2 supports. And to balance out the amount that the different roles are played, there are now incentives to play the role that doesn't have a whole lot of people playing them. So right now it's support. This is probably just the sort of default because nobody's really playing right now. The PTR just hit, but this will probably go to tank, for example, if there's no tanks playing at all, and you get rough queue time estimates as well underneath. So yeah, this is just to try out to see what the queue times are like. So please get on the PTR and try this. It's the only way that Blizzard are going to be able to get data. So if you have a PC version of Overwatch, you get the PTR with that and you can just download it, and definitely go check this out. You have 5 placed matches for each role. The SR is role specific, so you will be able to see that. I've seen that in a little picture. In the top right here, you will be able to see per season what your SR was for each role. And yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty cool that they actually updated everything sort of with this. It's definitely not really like placeholder fully, but still it's, you know, it's clearly in the early stages to some degree. Moving on from that as well, one of Jeff's main concerns about this whole thing was the actual queue times, especially for damage rolls. So in case of damage, they would have to wait quite a long time normally to queue, but hopefully with tweaking on the live client, actually, you might have noticed that games go a lot faster. I assume they tweaked some matchmaking there. At least my queues are popping incredibly fast on ranked on the live client, and hopefully we won't be seeing really long queue times here, but either way the incentives are there to try and counter that out. And different role SRs will hopefully help too with getting some good games in there. I won't be queuing here just right now because the next thing I want to talk about has to do with hero balance. Brigitte was actually changed as sort of speculated and I guess semi-leaked about. Some other characters I'm sure have or will be changed as well. But Brig now has 3 armor pack charges in the bottom right here, as you can see. So these are just like her normal charges, it seems. As you can see, it adds the extra armor if you already have full HP, but I can also save this bot here and heal this bot up. And when I've used up all my charges here, you can see it goes on cooldown and gets the charges back, just like any other ability that is charge based. So this should work out pretty well. I mean, I kind of like the idea of this to get a little bit more healing out of the character. They've probably done some number crunching here to figure out sort of where they should be. But yeah, obviously this is gonna need some tweaking too. I'm pretty interested in seeing what they do with other characters too, but Brig was definitely one of the main one. As in a 2-2-2, she wouldn't be very strong, but in a 3-3-3 comp, so 3 tanks and 3 healers, she would normally do incredibly well in what most people know as goats. Another thing to note that I don't think you can really notice from just this, but the ultimate charge in the middle of my screen there, 38 currently, is actually increased. So, oh, not the charge, sorry, the cost for that. So the global ultimate cost has been increased by 12%. Now, I gotta say, I'm not quite sure why, you know, it's exactly 12% and why they did that in exactly this patch. Would have been interesting to just, you know, try it by default first, but either way, that's another tweak that has been made. But I mean, feel free to tell me why that is. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I'm sure someone much smarter than me in the comments will point it out, as per usual. Yeah, either way, that's it for the hero changes that we have right now. If we go back to the main menu, I'm gonna have a look and see if we can get a queue going here for the role queue as well. Just gonna real quick check. Welcome to a hero balancing video. There is a million different changes to all the characters, and we're gonna cover them right now live. I've never done this before, but well, it's obviously not fully live, but you get the idea. I've never done it this impromptu. We're gonna go from top to bottom, and we're gonna go back to Brig real quick. It's not gonna take too long because we covered most of the stuff. So healing amount has been increased from 100 to 130 on her Inspire. That is the passive that triggers when you do your normal melee attack, the rocket flail. So if you hit with that, yeah, you get the passive that triggers, and it's been increased from 100 to 130. Self-healing from Inspire, so the healing that Brig gets from that, has been halved. The repair pack has the 3 charges that we talked about. The healing amount has been changed from 150 to 120, so it has been lowered a little bit. And it now heals over 2 seconds instead of instantly. If you throw multiple packs at the same person, the current duration will be extended by 2 seconds. So, I mean, I guess that's pretty good to know. Either way, cool stuff. That's it for Brig. We're gonna get back to spawn. Try to do this as fast as we can. Oh, whip shot, sorry. Outgoing velocity for the whip shot, so this ability has been increased from 60 to 80. Retracting time reduced from 0.6 to 0.3 seconds. Moving on from that, oh, well, we have shield bash as well, 0.9 to 0.75 seconds on the stun duration there. So that has actually been nerfed. Not by much, but a little bit. And also the barrier health. I actually just noticed, as you can see, it's changed from 500, I think was the previous one, to 200 on Brig. So quite a lot of change there. Ultimate cost increased, oh sorry, by 10% on Brig as well there for Rally. We got Doomfist next up, and his quick melee no longer pauses ammo reload, so I mean, like so this whole thing, like that, cancel it out, I assume that's what they mean. That's the only change for Doomfist. Hanzo has had the storm arrows changed, not too much, but a little bit. Storm arrows ammo has been reduced from 6 to 5, which is still, you know, pretty impactful. But yeah, as you can see, it's only 5 now. Yeah, there's a developer comment here too. The overall damage output of storm arrows was too high, so we're reducing the maximum number of shots. All right, what a useful dev comment. Thanks, Jeff. All right, let's move on. Moira. Fade ability can now be used while stunned. That's pretty huge. Moira was already pretty strong in terms of the fade. It could already get out of a lot of things, but if you get stunned as Moira nowadays, you will be able to just fade. And I mean, that's pretty big, honestly, especially because that was a way to get Moira if she wasn't fading, you know, if you get a McCree stun or something like that. But now she can just press shift and get out of that too. All right. That's gonna be really strong, especially in lower ranks where she's already really good in mid ranks too. Reset, protect barrier, cooldown increase from 8 seconds to 9 seconds, so the reset nerf has come in. As you can see in the bottom right there, very briefly. The cooldown has been increased by 1 second on the shield, which honestly, as an Orisa player, I played quite a bit of her recently. That's actually like a pretty big deal. Like, the barrier matters so much, and the pressure you have on the enemy barrier compared to yours, and being able to time that well with new barriers and so on, being on offense or defense as well with that will definitely matter. I don't think it'll have a huge impact, but it'll be interesting to see what that does. Reinhardt is the next character, and we've got a new passive, Steadfast. There you go. In the far right, you can see resistant to knockback effects. So basically, this is not like a full 100% resistance, but it reduces knockback effects by 30% just in general, like all the time, which is insane. I have to say, I'm so happy. I was playing Reinhardt the other day, and I was describing him as a hammer with a as a beach ball with a hammer duct tape to him, and honestly, that's pretty accurate for the character's experience for the most part. Still remember those clips of him getting punched around by Doomfist and Brig, but I want to say no more of that, but at least, you know, it's in a better place, that's for sure. Next up, we have Sombra, who has had her hack duration on enemy players reduced from 6 seconds to 5 seconds. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's actually, like, I think that's actually pretty fair. I don't know if that's, like, devastating for Sombra. I wouldn't really say I've played the character enough to know. But, yeah, it has been reduced. There you go. And it is gone. There you go. All right. So, yeah, not a huge, like, ridiculous swing there. Oh, we do have the EMP as well, though, which has had the activation time increased from 0.5 seconds to 0.65. So, a slight increased time on on EMP, sorry, which I guess is pretty... I think that's pretty fair. EMP is a very strong ultimate, and, yeah, that's definitely... Yeah, I think that's pretty fair with Symmetra here. She has had a few things changed, mostly around the teleporter. So the teleporter now lasts an infinite duration until destroyed, so I can just put it out. There's no timer, no nothing, you just leave it. See? I can check out this room, haven't been in here much, and then head back. Cool. I mean, honestly, I'm okay with that. It's a pretty interesting change. Players can destroy their teleporter with the ability to input. So I assume just pressing E again. Yeah, exactly. Cooldown now starts when teleporter is destroyed. Cooldown increased from 12 seconds to 15 seconds. So I guess that makes sense balance-wise. Maximum range increased from 25 to 30. Probably gonna notice that a little bit. We can go down on the range here and see that in action. I mean, it's noticeable that it's a bit further, but you know, it's not ridiculous. I think that's pretty fine.
Teleporter online.
Alright, cool. And then finally we have teleporter breaks if the entrance is more than 40 meters from the exit. So I assume if it moves on this platform, for example, that's a pretty good change. Teleport reuse time increased from 1 second to 1.5. So yeah, I mean that's just so you can't spam it as hard, which I guess is pretty good. Tracer, we have a small, well, we have a change. Damage increased on the, some of you are gonna love this. Damage increased on the pulse bomb from 300 to 350. 50 damage increase here, and I mean that's yeah, I mean honestly, like it might not sound like that much, but it's a pretty big deal. For Tracer players who will definitely know the the difference between killing and not killing someone that are on different amounts of health. So I think yeah, it's actually a pretty nice change to see. I was kind of sad to see how Tracer just get completely knocked out of the meta for a while. So I'm pretty cool with that. Even as like a tank player who will get stuck a lot, I'm totally fine with that. Wrecking Ball is next up. Increase projectile speed from 10 to 13, causing the mines to spread out more. This is on the minefield, so the ultimate. And the this got a long one. This makes it easier to create a wider minefield, especially from the high in the air. Okay, yeah, I mean there were other methods to do that already, but yeah, increase projectile speed from 10 to 13. Reduce the activation time from 0.25 to 0.1 seconds, so you can actually get the mines out even faster. So I mean, in general, the ability has just been buffed, which I think. Honestly, I'm totally okay with it. Like Hammond is a pretty balanced hero right now in terms of like if you just look at raw stats. But I do feel like he is very strong as well. Like I feel like he's one of the strongest heroes in the right hands. It's just that in terms of the average player and just average across the entire board, Hammond is pretty balanced. But yeah, so the ultimate has been buffed there with two little things. General hero changes that I'll go through on the menu with you guys as well. We have subtitles now display when spectating while waiting to respawn. Fix the bug that could cause damage to not be dealt if damage dealing ability was rapidly gaining or losing targets like a Zarya trying to track a fast moving hero. Charging heroes like Reinhardt Doomfist, so those sort of abilities should more consistently knock each other down while colliding. Some other small fixes there, and a bunch of other bug fixes to various characters that I'll link to in the top comment. That's all for this video. I don't think I'm actually, I mean, I might try and queue just to see what's up, but last time I did this, it took forever because there is no one on the PTR right now because it just went live. Either way, thank you guys very much for watching. I'm sorry for a very different, very odd video, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll enjoy Roll-Lock, Roll-Cube, the Roll-Cube beta on the PTR. Go and try it out. And yeah, I will see you guys next time, or whenever this cube pops, which might be a while. We'll see. All right. See you guys around. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.